guys, so we're back with another one, another reaction, review, another step in this vinyl journey. This is a journey through raindrops of sound and raindrops of time. So before we hop into the video and what we're reviewing today, I wanted to quickly, point to the fact that you guys may have noticed a positioning change between this video and the last couple videos. So before I was sitting on the floor, now I'm sitting on the bed. Basically, I just moved because I wanted to give you guys the best sound experience. I wanted to put you in a position where you could hear the music well and hear me well as well. Before I kind of had you guys positioned in between the two speakers, and it didn't sound the best. So this is my third video. I'm still trying to figuring all of this out. So I appreciate y'all for being patient with me as I get everything right. With that being said, today's album that we're gonna go over is John Coltrane, Blue Train, Blue Note 1577 or 1577 or 1577. I don't know how I'm supposed to say it, but that's the name of the record. There's a very important reason I chose this record to be the review that we do today, or the reaction that we do today, is because our last video, I went over Stevie Wonder Innervisions, a record that I got from Majors Records on Staten Island, and I didn't shout them out. So I wanted to make sure that the next video I did allowed me to shout out Majors Records because they're such a staple in Staten Island. And I just wanted to be able to let you guys know. So this record, as well as Stevie Wonder Innervisions, came from Majors Records on Staten Island, a great record store, a great music store. Feel free to stop in there at any time. So a little bit of background information about John Coltrane. So he is a saxophonist, he is a jazz artist, one of the most important saxophonists of all time. And that actually speaks to part of the reason that I got this particular album. This album represents a very particular phase in my vinyl journey, right? So in the beginning, it was kind of just like, what's cheap? And I would pick up everything that was cheap. 4 for 10 tables, 5 for 10 tables, what's $1, what's $2? And after that, I got into, well, what do I like? And then I would start picking up records that I liked, right? I started getting more 70s soul music, right? I would find more hip hop, right? Stuff that I'm particularly interested in. And then, most recently, the phase that I entered is a phase of what is important? What is musically important? What is important to the canon of music? What do I need to hear to understand the way music sounds now? Who are the forefathers and the foremothers and the foreparents of music? Who are the innovators? And this person happens to be one of them. He was at the forefront of the free jazz movement. One piece of information that I got that was super dope while doing the research on John Coltrane is that he served in Pearl Harbor, and as he served there, he served as a musician, and he played in a all-white Navy band. He was only allowed to be a guest artist that did guest appearances because it was an all-white band, so they couldn't actually have him as a member of the band. And by the end of his tenure, before he was discharged from the Navy, he was in a leadership position in that band. That is a testament to change. That is a testament to knocking down barriers. That is a testament to hard work, and that is a testament to talent, right? So it was just great to see that. That was actually super dope to read this story about, like, really knocking down a racial barrier in a real way. And by the way, this album came out in 1958. So I don't have the particular time he served in well, Pearl Harbor will be World War II. Remember, guys, that was less than 100 years ago. So like when we talk about those types of situations, when we talk about like oppression, when we talk about like long-standing systematic stuff, we're not talking about stuff that happened that long ago. But to continue to talk about this particular record, right? This is on Blue Note. Well, it came out on Blue Note. This person I have is part of the Blue Note 75th anniversary drops, I guess we could say, that came out. Blue Note is a very important record label when it comes to jazz. And this is one of the only Blue Note session that features John Coltrane as the lead of the session. I think that's a good amount of information on the record, on the artist. Before we get into it, the other tracks, the tracks on here are Blue Train, Moment's Notice, Locomotion, I'm Old Fashioned, and Lazy Bird. It features Lee Morgan on trumpet, Curtis Fuller on trombone, John Coltrane, of course, is the saxophonist, Kenny Drew on piano, Paul Chambers on bass, and Philly Joe Jones on drums. As you go through jazz records, or as you go through records in general, one good point to think about is who's on this record. Do I like that particular instrument and how they sound playing that instrument? Then what other records do they have? And that's a good way to go through the journey. I didn't go through it that way. I kind of just pick stuff up, but that's a helpful tip. So really quickly, this is a brand new record with a brand new inner sleeve, right? It's 75 Years of Blue Note, First Name in Jazz. This pressing came out in 2014. And if y'all ever get a chance, go buy this record and some of the records that are on here. The reason I got this particular pressing is because A, I would assume that an original copy of this is hard to find, and B, expensive. So I went with what I could find, especially as I want to get into making sure that I listen to music that has been deemed important in the canon of music. With that said, let's jump into this review. There was a bass kick just now. I don't know if I don't know where it came from, but it was so hard. It was such a dope punctuation. Maybe it's me bugging, but I can almost feel like when the Saints go marching in. That bass, every time the bass drum kicks, it's like, where's the bass? Where's this coming from? Okay, they came through kicking on this one. That's hard. Showing out. They are showing out on this one. Like I just told you this one. It's giving blues, it's giving breakup, it's giving walking alone down a New York street. Okay, back up beat again. Okay, guys, so let's talk about it. First and foremost, I thoroughly enjoyed this album. It was great. It was amazing. The Blue Train song, y'all know that bass kept coming, and I was like, "What is that? Where is that coming from?" I really like that. There was kind of a marriage between the drums and the piano on that song that would come whenever you heard the two of those instruments by themselves, and it was beautiful. And kind of repeated throughout the album. I love the marriage between the piano and the drums. So that would be Paul Chambers and Philly Joe Jones as a tandem. What they do together is amazing. You can hear the drums speed up while the piano kind of keeps rhythm, and that's super dope to me. Well, I guess the drums will be keeping rhythm, but you can hear the drums speed up while the piano stays at the same pace, and that's amazing to me. Moment's Notice was dope. What I will say is that my favorite songs on here were Locomotion and I'm Old Fashioned. Locomotion, it kind of just, it gave every instrument time and space to exist by itself, and then all the instruments would drop in together at the end of every solo, and it was like, you know, just one of those things where it's like there's no words, just screw your face and push through and listen to this because it's just amazing. I'm Old Fashioned was just kind of a little slower, a little bit more bluesy, and it just felt like a movie. It felt like a walking down the street in a sad movie. It might be raining, your partner left you, and you just got to figure out, you know, what's the next move. Towards the end, it sounds like you catch eyes with somebody who's beautiful and amazing, and maybe they lift your mood, and it's like, you want to go on a date? That's just what that song feels like. It's also the first time on this album that I hear it go like not so upbeat. Everything was a little bit fast and upbeat on here, and I'm Old Fashioned is the first time that it's not that, and it's a little bit more slowed down and I want to say subdued and a little sadder. I love it. On Lazy Bird, it almost felt like all the instruments were saying, "Look what I can do." It almost like they were in competition with each other, right? Because it was like one instrument will come on and just blow you out of the water, and just like, "Oh, look at me here," and then look at me here, and look at me, and watch this. But you can't do this. And then next instrument will come on, and it would just do this. It would just say the same things, like, "Actually, I can do that," and watch this, right? It was one-upsmanship. I don't know if that was the temperature of the session altogether. There was cohesiveness to it. It doesn't seem like it was a competitive space, but it might have been, right? A lot of times competition, especially friendly competition, brings out the best in all of us. So I don't know. I don't have the answer to that question. I'd love to look more into that and see if I could get more answers. This album is amazing. I loved it. Personal note about myself. I took jazz history twice in college. Once I failed, once I passed. And there would be two professors who are super glad and super amazed and super proud of me for taking the time to sit down and listen to this album. Those same two professors will probably be really upset that I don't have better language to describe what's happening in these albums. I should know better. I sat through this content 1.5 times, and I should have a little bit more language to explain what the different instruments are doing. I should be able to point out specific instruments when they're being played. So my message to all of you is that if you go to college and if you're going to school, try your best to retain the information that you get, because you never know when it might come up again. But with that said, thank you so much for taking this journey through these raindrops of time with me. And as always, please treat your life like a vinyl collection. Indulge in things you like. Don't be afraid to try something new. Cleanse regularly and try your best to avoid static. Peace, guys.